The Oura Ring 3 was one of the most anticipated pieces of technology for 2022. Well, now that the product is here in full force, is it worth your money? In this Oura Ring 3 review, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the Oura Ring 3. Stay tuned to find out if it's good enough to be a replacement for your smartphone or smartwatch. In case you're unfamiliar with the tech, smart rings are accessories that are fitted with electronic components and sensors to allow them to communicate with other devices like smartphones and even the internet. Although they have been in the tech ecosystem for some years now, 2022's Oura Ring 3 is meant to be a huge breakthrough in smart ring technology. So, at this point, you must be wondering if the Oura Ring 3 lived up to expectations. After all, the promises consumers received were incredible. This product managed to garner quite some hype ahead of its release. Well, to answer those pressing questions, we got our hands on one of these bad boys and decided to try it out ourselves. After extensive testing, we're finally ready to give our verdict. Ahead, we'll be discussing the build, features, and pricing of the Oura Ring 3. So, stick around to satisfy your curiosity. Before we get to that though, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. This way, you never miss out on any of our awesome content regarding tech gadgets and tech news. Alright, now back to the Oura Ring 3 review. First off, let's talk about build and design of the Oura Ring 3. Unlike previous Oura Ring models, the Oura Ring 3 comes with 3 sensor bumps that press against your finger. As you may have guessed, these additional sensors help it record more information, and this in turn expands its features. When it comes to dimensions, the band measures 0.3 inch wide and 0.1 inch thick. It also weighs between just 0.1 and 0.2 gram. These dimensions grant the ring some measure of bulkiness. Nonetheless, it still feels very comfortable to wear. Also, even though it's so light, don't let that make you think it's a cheap trinket. Despite being the same size and weight as the Oura Ring 2, this device comes with 32 times the amount of memory and 3 times as many sensors. And so, it can record way more data. Next, let's move on to features. Well, the Oura Ring 3 is quite packed with features, as you might expect. For one, it is compatible with both Apple Health and Google Fit. The fact that it has compatibility with both of these apps means that it will be useful for users with a wide range of devices. If you have an iPhone 13, you can use the Oura Ring 3 without any headache. And if you have a Samsung Galaxy, you don't have to worry either. The health tracking exhibited by the Oura Ring 3 is remarkably next level. It can track your body temperature 24/7. This means if there are any irregularities, you could find out quickly and get ahead of any developing disease. Let's say you attended a function and learned after the fact that one of the attendees had COVID-19. You need not allow your worry of getting the disease to wreck you. Instead, the Oura Ring 3 will track your vitals and help you get ahead of the disease. Isn't that cool? Okay, finally, let's move on to pricing. In a nutshell, the Oura Ring 3 is not cheap. It costs $300. In spite of this price point, it still doesn't have enough going on to replace another gadget, such as a smartwatch. And so, if you're buying it, buy it not just for functionality, but for luxury as well. That way, you'll attain satisfaction. On the whole, the Oura Ring 3 is a pretty great piece of wearable tech. Sure, there were a few missed opportunities here and there. However, considering the limited size, you can't really complain too much. If you enjoyed this Oura Ring 3 review, then please make sure to check out our other videos on the top 5 best smart rings in 2022 and amazing features of the best smart rings in 2022. This will give you a better idea about smart rings and which ones are worth your money. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Until next time, have a great day. Catch you later. Bye.